Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at XRP. Just very briefly, we don't really need to put too much detail into what's going on right now because it is basically going kind of parabolic, I suppose. If you think about how far we've come, this is just a daily chart, just from the last launch pad over here from the 10 exponential moving average to its current area, 177%. No big deal, no big deal at all. So let's have a look at the last time we did something similar to that, which was, I suppose, this move over here. Last time we touched the 10 exponential launch from it, we did a 209%. This I'm not going to count. We all know that that was a pump group kind of vibe. But so this is working out pretty well, I have to say. And like I say, the whole thing has all been based around the overall market cycle that XRP has. And this is the parabolic top down to the absolute bottom. And this giant fib retracement area are the areas of significance. So the first one coming out of the accumulation zone here, coming all the way up to the second level here, the 382. And after that, what happened? Well, we broke straight through it. I mean, we broke through it. We came down to basically almost close below it, and then essentially spent the next week, well, this was very early on, we're only 2 days in, moving up to the next level. So I mean, it's looking very promising, and like I say, I mean, there was two main concepts within this, and like I say, the majority, well, actually the actual trade that was taken that took place for me was around here, coming out of this accumulation zone, buying in of the accumulation zone, and then just leaving it to ride. The little bits of margin trading here and there, but I've always said that XRP is very difficult to trade. It's much better to have just done that original this original buy-in, really. I think I bought a little bit more here. I didn't actually buy any more down here. I'd got more than enough. And like I say, I treat the overall market cycle seriously, and I do see it playing out. And lots of people obviously laugh and dispute that, but it shows now that, regardless of how many tokens there are and how unpopular it is, and how it will never reach its all-time high again, I suppose now people are beginning to realise that actually it could quite easily do that, and that my very conservative overall analysis back about a year ago of reaching areas of about $4.20 to maybe $8.60 at its top. It kind of seemed like they could really kick in. So yeah, $8.60 more or less. Yeah, so that is a more or less a top target. Now, if XRP did completely rally, completely crazy, then obviously, we could be talking about much higher targets, even up here and beyond. But for the moment, it's step by step. And again, it's when it comes to trading XRP, for me, it was always about just buying it when it came out of this into the accumulation zone, just like I did with EOS. And people saying, well, why would you buy a chart that just goes down forever? I say, because I believe it's reached its bottom. Obviously, that's catching a knife. That's no area to buy. But this area was, because it proved to me that we're in an accumulation zone, and it's working out fine. So again, don't get caught up with today's pumps or tomorrow's dumps or whatever's going on. If you followed from the beginning the idea, the concept that we were in an accumulation zone and that we will begin to reverse the chart, it's basically like just a really good investment to have made. Now, for the people who, what have I just done there? For the people that want to get back in on this, I have to say that it's going to take a bit of patience, and you may not get your chance, but you usually do. And we spoke about this, I think, on my last video with XRP, and it's all about the relationship it has with the 200 exponential moving average, which they always end up meeting again at some point. Now, I just made a video about Bitcoin potentially reaching a top, over the next few weeks. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but if it were to happen, then we could only assume that the market is likely to reach a top over the next few weeks. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but it could. It's worth thinking about. So when things just go up all the time, we don't ever consider what it would be like if it goes down. But they do. Markets do go down, especially markets like cryptocurrency, which are vulnerable. They're pretty vulnerable markets. I know we've reached beyond 2 trillion at the moment market cap, which is a lot. That's spread across the majority of altcoins. Bitcoin has half of that, more than half, and the rest of the altcoins, share the rest. That basically means that when we break it down, some of these altcoins really don't have a very large market cap at all, and they are they do end up being quite vulnerable to a significant retrace. So for me to say that we're going to come down to this level here, 47 cent, is unrealistic. But what we need to consider is that moving averages move. They move with the market. They move with price action. So if we consider this is going to be moving up like this, even if we started to come down, we would still be on an upward trajectory. We could be coming down to these sort of levels over a period of time. This is not an exact. This isn't what I'm expecting. I'm just giving you an idea of. I'm not expecting us to come down to 46 cent because that's where the 200 exponential is right now. The 200 exponential will move every day in an uptrend because we are very, very far away from it right now. If we were to come all the way down to it, that's a 70% retracement. That is unlikely, but in previous bull markets with XRP, and I'll show you this now, we have retraced that before. So let's just have a look at how this one behaved over here. So we rallied all the way up here. This is a giant, massive move, an enormous move, 6,000%. I don't think we should be entertaining the idea that that's going to happen. But before we launched all the way again, we did retrace to the tune of 70%. Now again, the market cap for XRP back here was a lot smaller than it is right now, so it was more vulnerable to further retracement. So that is just one thing I want you to consider, that if you feel like you've missed out on XRP and you're upset that you've missed the boat, don't be. XRP will forgive you for that, and it will come down to this white line at some point, the 200 exponential. They like to check in on each other, even when you think it will never happen again. They will check in on each other. They have a very strong relationship, and they always have, and they very likely always will do. Even when we came out of the accumulation zone here and did our first rally, we came down to spend quite a lot of time on that 200 exponential. We rallied all the way up here, and at the time I remember saying this pretty much exactly the same as what I'm saying now, and people are saying, where's the entry point, where's the entry point? I said, chill out guys, you'll get your entry point again. It's going to come down to the 200 exponential, and that was without the FUD. Obviously the FUD brought it way down below it, so oversold it massively, but we did come down to touch the 200 exponential. Pump group happened. Where did we come down to? The 200 exponential. Might have just been on one tap, but we did come down to it. We spent a lot of time in and around it. So I would expect that same thing, that very same behaviour is going to continue to play out. We've got a long year ahead of us of uptrend, but not without potential significant downtrend. So let's just put things into perspective. XRP can moon. It's proved that. I don't know why people dispute it still. They've seen what's happened. They've seen what's happened. I mean, that's just an excitement pump because we came out of accumulation. But this was a real pump, and this is a real pump. And these pumps, they will continue. But retracement, 200 exponential, that would be your entry point. You're just going to have to sit back and chill and wait for that opportunity. It will give it to you at some point. You will get that opportunity, but do not think that buying up here is a great idea, nor is, I suppose, selling up here a great idea. The end result, again, is going to be something that you need to put into perspective, which is this is the end result. All these areas getting taken out bit by bit, level by level, with a potential target of 14, absolute top. We're talking parabolic move here, but generally for me, I'm very happy between 4 and 8, and those are my zones that I'll be looking to get to be selling at, and I would be very happy with that, considering my average buy price was between 20 and 30 cents. And that is all I have to say about it. Now, if you're interested in I suppose learning more, I do have a Patreon. 2 live streams we do a week, 2 hours a piece, Tuesdays and Fridays. So that's the one tonight, and it's £7.50 a month. You get 16 hours worth. There is training and tutorial, I suppose, stuff on the Patreon for you to look at. About some of the basic things that I use to chart these coins out. But otherwise, I do have a Telegram chat, all the links in the video description below, and I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.